You won't believe what just went down in the world of hip-hop family drama, because it's messier than a reality TV reunion. Picture this: NBA YoungBoy, already no stranger to controversy, is now at the center of a scandal that has fans clutching their pearls. Reports are flying in that Yaya Mayweather, yes, the daughter of boxing legend Floyd Mayweather, allegedly confronted and jumped YoungBoy's pregnant wife in a heated altercation that has the internet going absolutely wild. Witnesses claim the tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife, and the scene quickly spiraled from a war of words to an all-out showdown. And now, insiders are saying NBA YoungBoy has issued a warning to Yaya herself, one so icy it sent shivers through even his closest circle. What sparked this jaw-dropping clash? Was it jealousy, old grudges, or a secret none of us saw coming? Fans are piecing together every blurry video clip, every cryptic Instagram story, and every shady tweet to figure out the truth. But one thing's for sure, emotions ran high, friendships were tested, and the family was left divided. Buckle up, because this story is about to take more twists than you're ready for. NBA YoungBoy's life has never been short of drama, but what happened in the past 48 hours has taken things to a whole new level. It all started when whispers began circulating that Yaya Mayweather had been spotted at a private gathering where YoungBoy's pregnant wife, Jaslyn, was also present. The two have a long and complicated history, and though the public assumed they had both moved on, insiders say the tension between them never really disappeared. According to someone who claims to have been at the scene, the energy shifted the moment Yaya walked into the room. People froze, phones came out. Even the music seemed to fade into the background. At first, it was just stares. Those long, cold looks that tell a story without a single word. But it didn't stay quiet for long. One witness says Yaya mumbled something under her breath as she walked past Jaslyn, something so pointed that it made Jaslyn's head snap up instantly. "What did you just say?" she reportedly asked, her voice low but trembling. The two women stood just a few feet apart, but the tension between them was as loud as thunder. Onlookers claim Yaya smirked and said, "You heard me." That was all it took for the situation to escalate. Friends of both women tried to step in, urging them to stay calm, but the words kept flying. Jaslyn, already visibly pregnant, was being told to sit down and avoid any stress. But when Yaya allegedly accused her of playing house with a man who will never change, Jaslyn's face turned pale and her hands clenched into fists. There was a brief moment where it seemed like Jaslyn would walk away, but then Yaya reportedly stepped closer, almost daring her to respond. This is when the accounts start getting messy. Some say it was just verbal, others swear they saw Yaya push Jaslyn lightly on the shoulder. One person even claimed Yaya grabbed her arm in a way that made people gasp. "It happened so fast," a source explained. One minute they were just talking, the next minute people were shouting and moving in to break it up. Whatever exactly went down, it was enough for NBA YoungBoy to hear about it almost instantly. Word traveled quickly through his circle. By the time he got the full story, he was already furious. YoungBoy has had his issues with both women in the past, but this time, insiders say it hit differently because of a baby on the way. He's been trying to keep things peaceful for the sake of his growing family, and the idea that someone, especially someone from his past, would cause stress for Jaslyn while she's pregnant made his blood boil. One of his close friends claims that he immediately picked up the phone to call Yaya. "He didn't scream, he didn't yell," the friend revealed. "He spoke slow, but every word was sharp. He told her she crossed the line. He told her if she ever came near his wife again, it wouldn't end well." The tone, according to the source, was so serious that Yaya didn't even try to talk back. She hung up the phone without another word. But that wasn't the end of it. Just hours later, fans noticed that YoungBoy had posted a cryptic story on social media. It was a dark background with a short line of text that read, "Some people need to learn the hard way." It wasn't long before everyone was connecting the dots. Comment sections exploded with people taking sides. Some defended Yaya, saying she was just standing up for herself, while others accused her of being bitter and jealous. Meanwhile, Jaslyn kept quiet publicly, but insiders say she was deeply shaken. She's emotional right now, and not just because of the pregnancy. One source close to her said, "She feels like she's being targeted just for trying to live her life." In private, she reportedly broke down in tears when she heard that fans were posting clips of the alleged altercation online. She didn't want the world to see her in such a vulnerable state, especially with strangers making cruel comments about her. Floyd Mayweather himself has not spoken out publicly, but people in his circle say he's aware of what happened and is not pleased. While Floyd has had his disagreements with YoungBoy in the past, he's also been protective of Yaya. If the rumors are true, this could lead to another chapter of tension between Floyd and YoungBoy, something neither camp really wants right now. But in the world of celebrity drama, avoiding conflict is often easier said than done. By the next morning, paparazzi were on the hunt for any of the three involved. Photos surfaced of YoungBoy leaving his studio looking tense, his phone pressed to his ear. Fans were convinced he was still dealing with the fallout from the confrontation. Yaya, on the other hand, was spotted with friends, smiling for the cameras as if nothing had happened. Some interpreted this as confidence. Others saw it as a way to get under Jazlynn's skin. As for Jazlynn, she stayed indoors, reportedly surrounded by family and friends who were keeping her calm. A few members of her inner circle suggested that she considered taking a break from public outings until things settled down. But others believe that would give Yaya exactly what she wants, control over her movements. There's already talk that Jazlynn might do a tell-all interview soon, but nothing has been confirmed. Behind the scenes, things are far from resolved. Both camps are sticking to their own version of events, and fans are left trying to piece together the truth from a jumble of rumors, blurry videos, and cryptic posts. What's clear, though, is that NBA YoungBoy is not letting this slide. People close to him say he's been making phone calls, setting boundaries, and making it very clear that this kind of disrespect will not be tolerated, and just when it seemed like the dust might be settling, another twist emerged. A mutual friend of both women allegedly leaked a voice note in which Yaya can be heard laughing and saying, "That little push wasn't even hard. She's just being dramatic." The leak has thrown gasoline on the fire, with fans rushing to pick apart the audio and argue over whether it's even real. Some think it's been edited, others are convinced it's authentic. Either way, it's kept the entire situation boiling over, and that's where things stand for now, with everyone watching closely to see what will happen next, and whether YoungBoy will take his warning to the next level. The tension that had been simmering after the leaked voice note quickly began to boil over as the clip went viral. Within hours, it had been reposted by dozens of celebrity gossip pages, with captions that only added fuel to the fire. Yaya Mayweather laughs about altercation with NBA YoungBoy's wife, one headline screamed. Fans flooded the comment sections, tagging both women and demanding responses. Some accused Yaya of having no respect for a pregnant woman, while others claimed Jazlynn was milking the situation for sympathy. Sources close to Jazlynn say she was devastated when she heard the clip. Sitting on her couch, phone in hand, she replayed it multiple times, her eyes filling with tears. She couldn't believe it, a friend revealed. She was already shaken by the confrontation, and now to hear Yaya mocking her, it felt like a second slap in the face. Her family rallied around her, urging her to stay off social media, but it was impossible to ignore. Every time she opened her phone, there it was, playing again and again. NBA YoungBoy's reaction, however, was completely different. When someone sent in a voice note, his face reportedly went stone cold. He didn't yell, but those around him said they could feel the air change in the room. He just stood up, walked into another room, and shut the door, a source close to him said. 10 minutes later, he came back and said, "This is going too far." Those words alone made his friends uneasy, because when YoungBoy says something like that, it usually means he's about to act, behind closed doors. YoungBoy made several calls, one of them allegedly to a mutual acquaintance who still talks to Yaya. The message was clear. The games needed to stop or things were going to get ugly. "Tell her I said keep my wife's name out her mouth," he reportedly said, his tone so sharp that the acquaintance didn't dare question him. Yaya, however, seemed unfazed. Later that day, she posted a selfie on her story with the caption, "Unbothered," followed by a winking emoji. It didn't take long for fans to connect the dots, interpreting it as a direct jab at YoungBoy and Jazlynn. The internet ate it up, with memes and side-by-side photos of the two women circulating like wildfire. While the online world debated, things were heating up offline too. One night later, both women unexpectedly showed up at the same upscale restaurant in Houston. It wasn't planned, at least not according to their circles, but it was the kind of coincidence that had everyone on edge. Insiders say YoungBoy wasn't there, but several of his close friends were, and they immediately called him when they spotted Yaya walking in. What happened next is where the stories start to conflict again. One version claims Jaslyn stayed seated, refusing to give Yaya the satisfaction of a reaction. Another insists that Yaya made a snide comment loud enough for Jaslyn to hear, prompting her to quietly leave before things escalated. Either way, witnesses agree on one thing: the room went tense, and all eyes were on them. After the restaurant incident, fans began speculating that this wasn't just random, that Yaya was intentionally inserting herself into spaces where she knew Jaslyn would be. A blogger even claimed to have proof, posting screenshots of a text thread allegedly between Yaya and a friend in which she asked where Jaslyn was going to be that night. The authenticity of the screenshots hasn't been confirmed, but they added yet another layer of drama to the already messy situation. Meanwhile, YoungBoy was growing more and more frustrated. People in his camp say he's been trying to focus on his music and his family, but the constant drama keeps pulling him back in. He's tired of it, one insider explained. He wants to protect his wife, but he also doesn't want to give Yaya the attention she seems to want. Still, the leaked voice note, the social media posts, and the restaurant run-in were starting to push him past his limit. In private, he told Jaslyn that she didn't need to respond to anything, that he would handle it. But sources say Jaslyn has been battling her own internal conflict. She doesn't want to look weak, especially with millions of people watching, but she also knows any public move could make the situation worse. It's a lose-lose, her best friend reportedly told her. If you speak up, they say you're petty. If you stay quiet, they say you're scared. The fan reaction was becoming almost as intense as the drama itself. Stan accounts for both women were clashing online, posting old pictures, resurfacing past rumors, and even creating conspiracy theories about why Yaya might have such a deep resentment toward Jaslyn. Some claimed it was jealousy, others hinted at unresolved feelings between YoungBoy and Yaya that Jaslyn had unknowingly stepped into. Whether any of it was true didn't matter. The narratives were spreading fast. As the days passed, the energy around the situation didn't die down, it built. YoungBoy's team began discussing whether they should release an official statement or just let the chaos play out. He's unpredictable, one team member admitted. Sometimes he'll go silent for weeks, other times he'll drop something that blows up the whole internet. And with the way things were going, nobody could be sure which version of YoungBoy they were about to get. And then, just when everyone thought they had seen the peak of the drama, a rumor broke that YoungBoy had arranged a face-to-face meeting with Yaya to clear the air. No one knew if it was true, but the very idea that the two might sit down together sent fans into a frenzy. The question on everyone's mind was the same: if they did meet, would it end in peace or explode into an even bigger war? This uncertainty is exactly where things began to tip toward the next chapter of the saga, because not everything about this rumored meeting was as it seemed. Rumors about a face-to-face meeting between NBA YoungBoy and Yaya Mayweather spread like wildfire, but the truth was far murkier than anyone expected. According to one insider, it wasn't YoungBoy himself who wanted the meeting. It was actually arranged by a mutual friend who was tired of the drama spilling into public view. The friend reportedly thought that if Yaya and YoungBoy could at least talk things through, it might put an end to the constant tension. But the way it played out only added more fuel to the fire. The meeting was set to happen at a private home just outside Baton Rouge, far from paparazzi and prying eyes. When YoungBoy showed up, he wasn't alone. Two of his closest friends came with him, both looking serious and on edge. Yaya arrived about 15 minutes later, wearing oversized sunglasses and carrying herself with the kind of confidence that made it clear she wasn't intimidated. From the moment she walked in, the atmosphere was heavy. At first, there was silence. They sat across from each other at a long dining table, the mutual friend awkwardly trying to break the ice. But it didn't take long before the small talk disappeared and the real conversation began. "You know you crossed the line," YoungBoy reportedly said, his voice low but steady. "You don't come at my wife like that, especially when she's pregnant." Yaya leaned back in her chair, tilting her head slightly before replying, "She's not the only one who can throw shade. She's been talking too." This was the moment the mutual friend realized the meeting might not go as planned. Instead of apologies, the two began trading accusations. Yaya claimed that Jaslyn had been making indirect comments on social media aimed at her for months, and that the recent confrontation was just the result of built-up energy. YoungBoy denied this, saying Jazlyn had nothing to gain from engaging with Yaya and that the only one keeping the drama alive was her. The back and forth grew sharper. At one point, YoungBoy reportedly leaned forward, his hands clasped together on the table, and said, "I'm telling you now for your own good. Leave her alone." Yaya smirked, not backing down. "Or what?" she asked, her tone almost taunting. One of YoungBoy's friends shifted uncomfortably in his seat, sensing that the conversation was about to cross a line that couldn't be walked back. After about 20 minutes, the mutual friend tried to wrap things up, suggesting they agree to stay out of each other's lives entirely. YoungBoy seemed willing to accept this, but Yaya's final comment made it clear the issue wasn't truly over. As she stood to leave, she reportedly said, "Tell her to keep my name out of her mouth, and I'll keep mine out of hers. But I'm not making promises if she slips up again." By the time YoungBoy got back home, word of the meeting had already started leaking online. Someone close to Yaya hinted at it in a cryptic post, writing, "Never scared to say it to their face," accompanied by a photo of a wine glass. Fans instantly began speculating that it was about the sit-down with YoungBoy, and the debates reignited all over again. Jaz Lin, who had been kept informed about the meeting but wasn't present, had mixed feelings. On one hand, she appreciated that YoungBoy had confronted the issue directly. On the other hand, she didn't like that Yaya still seemed to be framing herself as the unbothered one in the situation. Privately, she told a friend, "It's like she wants this to keep going. She's not trying to let it die down at all." Things took another turn just a couple of days later when a new piece of alleged proof surfaced. A blogger posted what they claimed was security camera footage from the night of the original altercation, showing blurred figures in a heated exchange. While the quality was grainy, viewers claimed they could make out Yaya's distinctive hair and Jazlyn's baby bump. The footage appeared to show a slight shove, which sent comment sections into chaos. Some said it confirmed Yaya had physically crossed the line. Others argued it proved nothing. The release of the footage prompted Yaya to finally speak up publicly for the first time. She went live on Instagram, telling her side of the story. In the live, she denied jumping Jazlyn but admitted there had been a little push when Jazlyn stepped up to her. She insisted it wasn't serious and accused the internet of blowing everything out of proportion. "Y'all acting like I hit her," she said. "It wasn't even like that." YoungBoy didn't publicly respond to the live, but sources say he watched it and was furious. "She's still trying to play it down like it's no big deal," he told someone close to him, "but she knows what she did." The fact that Yaya seemed more concerned about how she was being perceived online than about the actual altercation only deepened his anger. Fans were now split into three camps: Team Jazlyn, Team Yaya, and those who believed both women were to blame. Stan accounts continued to dig up old interviews, past social media posts, and even throwback pictures of YoungBoy with both women, fueling speculation about the true root of the tension. Some pointed out that Yaya and YoungBoy share a child together, and that co-parenting dynamics could be adding to the hostility. As if the situation wasn't already complicated enough, another twist came when an anonymous tipster told a gossip page that Jazlyn might be considering legal action. While nothing official had been filed, the tip claimed she was exploring her options after the leaked footage seemed to support her side. The moment this rumor dropped, Yaya posted a series of laughing emojis on her story, which fans interpreted as a direct response. The cycle of accusation, denial, and online shade was starting to feel endless. Those close to YoungBoy worried about how much longer he could stay calm before taking more drastic action. "He's been biting his tongue," a source said, "but there's only so much he'll take before he makes a move that nobody can take back." And it was right at that boiling point when the drama shifted again, this time with a surprise note from Jazlyn herself that nobody saw coming. J.A. Lin had been quiet for weeks, enduring the public scrutiny and constant jabs, but according to those closest to her, she had finally reached her breaking point. The pressure of the ongoing feud, the stress of her pregnancy, and the endless stream of online comments had wore. One late evening, without warning, Jazlyn went live on her Instagram. The notifications spread like wildfire, and within minutes, tens of thousands of people had joined, eager to hear what she had to say. Sitting in what looked like her living room wearing a simple hoodie, she took a deep breath before speaking. "I've kept quiet because I didn't want to feed into the drama. she began softly. "But I'm not going to sit here and let someone keep painting me as weak or scared." She went on to describe her version of the altercation in detail, confirming that there had been physical contact and emphasizing how dangerous and disrespectful it was, especially considering her pregnancy. "You don't touch a woman who's carrying a child," she said, her voice shaking slightly. "That's a line you don't cross." She didn't mention Yaya by name, but everyone knew exactly who she was referring to. The live lasted just under 10 minutes, but the impact was immediate. Clips of her emotional statements were posted everywhere, and fans flooded the comments with messages of support. Others accused her of only speaking out now because the leaked footage had given her leverage. Either way, the narrative had shifted. Now it wasn't just about an altercation, it was about a pregnant woman standing up for herself. Yaya's response came less than 24 hours later. She posted a short video to her story, rolling her eyes and saying, "Here we go again," before cutting the clip. She didn't directly address Jazlynn's live, but the timing and tone made it clear she was dismissing it entirely. This subtle, almost mocking reaction reignited the online battles between their fanbases. Team Jazlynn supporters called Yaya heartless, while Team Yaya fans accused Jazlynn of playing victim. Through all of this, NBA YoungBoy was noticeably absent from social media. No cryptic posts, no sudden lives, no statements, nothing. Those in his circle said he was intentionally keeping his distance from the public chaos, but privately he was more involved than ever. "He's moving pieces behind the scenes," one source claimed. "He's making sure Jazlynn is protected and he's watching every single thing Yaya does." The behind-the-scenes part took on a new meaning when whispers emerged that YoungBoy had contacted his legal team about sending Yaya a formal warning. Whether this was to protect Jazlynn or simply to set boundaries wasn't clear, but it suggested he was ready to handle things in a way that left no room for more coincidences or public run dash-ins. Then, out of nowhere, another unexpected twist dropped. A blurry photo surfaced online of YoungBoy and Yaya in the same room again. The image appeared to be taken at a family-related event for their child, and while there was no sign of drama in the shot, the internet immediately went into overdrive. Some speculated that the two had reconciled for the sake of co-parenting, while others accused them of playing the public for attention. Jazlynn reportedly was not thrilled about the photo. A friend close to her told blogs that while she understood YoungBoy had to be around Yaya for their child, she hated how quickly the image spread and how it reignited speculation. "She's tired," the friend said. "She just wants this chapter over with." The drama showed no signs of truly ending. Each time the tension seemed to die down, something new surfaced: a cryptic post, a leaked message, or a sighting that sent fans into a frenzy. But the underlying truth remained the same. The relationship between Yaya Mayweather, Jazlynn, and NBA YoungBoy was a powder keg, and everyone was just waiting to see who would light the match next. And yet, despite all the chaos, there were signs of quiet shifts happening. People in YoungBoy's camp claimed he was spending more time focusing on his family with Jazlynn and less on public appearances. Some even hinted that he had plans to take her away for a while out of the spotlight to let things cool down before the birth of their baby. Yaya, meanwhile, appeared to be doubling down on her public image, posting more glamorous photos, attending events, and occasionally dropping vague captions that kept her name in the conversation. Whether she was doing it intentionally to get under Jazlynn's skin or simply living her life was a matter of debate, but either way, the internet was paying attention. The situation had become more than just a personal feud. It was now a full-blown saga playing out in front of millions. Every move, every word, every image was dissected, debated, and turned into fuel for the ongoing fire. And as much as everyone claimed they wanted it to end, the truth was, nobody was looking away. Because in this tangled web of love, history, and pride, there were no clean breaks, only temporary pauses before the next explosion. And everyone, from fans to friends to family, knew it was only a matter of time before the next chapter began. And that's where things stand: a whirlwind of accusations, leaked footage, Instagram lives, and tense face-to-face moments that have left fans stunned and divided. From the first whispers of a confrontation to the explosive public reactions, this drama has been a roller coaster of emotions, with each new twist leaving more questions than answers. Is this truly the end of the feud, or are we just catching our breath before the next storm hits? Will Jaslyn find the peace she's been seeking, or will Yaya's unshakable confidence keep the tension alive? And how will NBA YoungBoy balance protecting his wife, keeping his family together, and managing the delicate co-parenting situation with Yaya without adding more fuel to the fire? The truth is, in the unpredictable world of celebrity relationships, nothing stays quiet for long. Fans are already bracing themselves for the next leaked clip, cryptic post, or surprise sighting that could flip the narrative all over again. One thing is certain, everyone will be watching, dissecting, and reacting the moment anything happens. Now we want to hear from you. Whose side are you on in this saga? Team Jaslyn, Team Yaya, or do you think both of them share the blame? Do you believe YoungBoy should step in more forcefully, or should he let the situation fade out naturally? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let's get the conversation going. If you enjoyed diving into all the twists, turns, and behind-the-scenes details of this wild story, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss an update. And don't just watch, be part of the discussion. Your opinions, your theories, and your hot takes are what keep this conversation alive. Until the next chapter of this ongoing drama unfolds, stay tuned, stay curious, and keep your notifications on because you never know when the next shockwave will hit.